cancer is why the liver, it has spread to the liver.
Right. So it's not liver cancer. It's colon cancer, which has spread to the liver. That's very different.
Yes, I read that.
Okay. So if you think about the physiology of the cancer, there are colon cancer cells in the blood. They have just appeared in the liver, right? So why we were giving systemic chemotherapy was because we wanted to not only attack the cancer spot that we see in the liver, but also the microscopic cancer cells that are in the blood that we do not see and that we're preventing to grow in the other organs, i.e. lung, belly, those sorts of places, right?
Okay.
Your father obviously did not tolerate the chemotherapy, so we have stopped it. So I have spoken to the hepatobiliary surgeons, the surgeons who specialize in surgery in the liver, biliary, that whole area. And I told them that Bill's having a hard time. We need to, and so if we just take a quick step back. So colon cancer stage 4 to the liver, we know that we can improve survival, unlike any other stage 4 cancer to the liver, by dealing with the liver separately. Okay? So if it was pancreas cancer to the liver, it doesn't make sense if we deal with the liver separately. The prognosis is the same. Colon cancer is different. So the idea of the systemic chemotherapy was to control the growth of those microscopic cancer cells to prevent them from growing and depositing more spots in the liver or other places that we couldn't deal with, and also decreasing the size of the cancer spot in the liver to make the surgery easier and less liver that we have to take out.
Okay.
Okay, so now, obviously, he didn't tolerate the systemic treatment, so then I reached out to the liver surgeon, and so he and I agreed that doing localized chemo, injecting it directly into the liver, is the best bet to shrink it so that the surgery can be more feasible.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, so that's what TACE is. It's transarterial chemoembolization. So what that means is we put chemotherapy into the arteries right in the liver, okay, and we directly feed the cancer spot in the liver with the chemotherapy, okay?
Okay.
So that's the approach. Now, radiation, unless if it's radiofrequency ablation, which is not as good as TACE, okay, radiation doesn't make sense for one liver spot. We don't get good outcomes with that. Now, if the TACE is not effective, or if he's not able to tolerate it, which will be, I mean, that's rare that people don't tolerate it, then we would go to radiofrequency ablation, okay, which is less effective than the TACE.
Okay. He's just like fragile, like.
Yeah. So, and these are the systemic effects of the chemotherapy, right? So I think you said it very nicely in your email that once the chemotherapy, the farther we get out from it, the better he's going to get, right? So he's not going to improve within a day or two. It's going to take a few weeks.
Okay, so it'll be a few weeks before he starts the TACE.
Back to his somewhat normal self, right? So, so what I would suggest is you don't compare day by day because you're going to get frustrated, right? Because he'll be better one day and then he'll overdo it in whatever way he overdoes it, and then he'll be worse the next day, right? So what I would suggest is that you cover, like you think about comparing like 3 or 4 days by 3 or 4 days, right? So you say to yourself, hey, this Wednesday to last Sunday segment, how was that from the Saturday to Thursday last week? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, Bill, the other thing is you're going to have to push yourself a little bit, right?
Yes.
I mean, obviously knowing that you're not feeling well, but push yourself a little bit to eat and drink, right?
That's my main goal right now is to do consumption.
Now, obviously it's within limitation because you're not feeling well. So, but if you can push yourself a little bit, try to do that.
Yes, sir.
How much should he be eating a day? Like yesterday, all I could get down him was not even a half a piece of bread, a quarter piece of bread, and 4 small slices of banana.
I mean, there's no magic amount, right? So what he can eat, and hopefully over a couple of days' time, it improves, like each couple of days, right?
Right.
I mean, so let me ask you about this. So today, being Wednesday, how is he compared to Monday?
Well, better since he had the potassium at the ER.
Well, potassium doesn't make you feel better.
Well, I
It's
don't.
just an electrolyte.
Well,
Yeah.
Just
you-
not looking like he looked
Yeah.
like he was about to die on Monday
Yeah. So
when
right,
we were there.
these are positive things, right? So that's how we
Yeah.
want to compare,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hey, boss, I was just going to say, I mean, if there's a money, if you need a money upgrade for anything, that I mean, I have the money for an upgrade if you need it. Okay. You
What
know,
are they talking? Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
oh, Lord, help us.
I mean, if something costs more, you know, you let me know. I'll pay more.
Yeah. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Okay.
Like this is the best course of treatment. So let me ask you,
Yes,
Bill,
sir.
how are you feeling compared to 2 days ago? What do you think?
Oh, almost night and day.
See, there you go.
Like
right?
today,
So Rachel,
I'm gonna go to Nations. I'm gonna get a pancake with an egg on it, and with a.
and you know what
lot of
also would be good is a milkshake, like a chocolate milkshake or something.
Yeah. And then I'll get some chocolate milkshakes at McDonald's too.
Yeah, because what happens is I think people say that coldness of it
Yeah.
is really good. Plus, it's a high calorie drink, right?
Yeah. I love them. Yeah.
So, Rachel, you're definitely welcome to go get second and third opinions. I'm not going to stop you. But if you feel that's what you need to do, please go ahead and do it, right? But I would be very surprised if they told you something that would be different than the aggressiveness that we're doing.
Okay, so it is stage 4.
Yeah, it is stage 4, right? Because it's spread from the organ of origin and has gone to a different organ.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So what are the stages past 4?
4 is it.
Oh, okay.
But let's just take a quick step back. So 4 of colon or rectal cancer is very different than 4 of most cancers, right? So specifically for that principle I said to you earlier, that if this was any other cancer which spread to the liver, we would not do any localized treatment to the liver because it doesn't change the overall survival, right? In colon cancer, if it is only liver spread, okay, which is this situation, we know that if we deal and control with the liver spot, then we actually increase survival. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to be aggressive in trying to manage this cancer spot in the liver, because, you know, right away when we saw it, I sat down with the liver surgeon and he said, wow, this is one spot, so this is a perfect person that we want to do something with, but right now it's too large of a size and too close to a vessel that we wouldn't get the whole thing out, or there's a high chance that we would nick the vessel and he would bleed to death. So that was the point of starting with chemotherapy, to shrink it, right?
Yeah.
So that we would make it an easier surgery and a safer surgery. An easier surgery meaning that we would be confident that we could get the whole thing out, right, without leaving anything behind, and safer meaning that would be less chance to nick the artery.
Yeah.
So what side has it shrunk at all? Do we know?
We don't know, but I doubt with the amount of chemo he received, right?
Okay.
But it's okay because we're gonna do a different. We're going to have a different approach, right?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Right.
Okay.
So who did you speak to, Rachel?
I spoke to my uncle, and then we called the Cancer Centers of America, and I just talked to a hotline person.
No, they're bogus. I wouldn't go there. They're gonna want your Visa card even before you show up there.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But like I said,
It
if
sounds
it's
good.
gonna make you feel confident. So I'll tell you, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America is exactly targeting someone in your situation. The emotional state of it. You know, there's a reason they put the commercial on at night and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I said to you that, hey, there are other places that are doing something unique or something that we can't do, then I would be sending him there. But this is a very common instance for us. This is what we do.
Okay, so
All right.
if he's still not eating and starts feeling like he was on Monday, we should just take him back down to the ER and to get more fluids.
Or try to connect with me, because I would love to, the reason I sent him to the ER from here is there was no way that we were going to be able to handle the replacement of electrolytes and that sort of thing, right, in the time frame we had. I'd rather him not to go to the ER because, A, he has a copay, it takes a long time, and he hates it, right? I'd rather have him come here. But I bet you, Rachel, that he's going to feel better. He's already feeling 90% better, that he'll continue to feel better, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Stay in touch with me. Stay in touch with me.
So when he gets the taste treatments, is that an overnight stay?
No. So let me answer that. No, it's the same day procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And puncture, like inject?
Yeah, they inject. And what people say, I don't hear much from anybody, but what people say, if they do complain about something, is a little bit of localized pain and irritation.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, and I think you're going to do okay. This chemo just didn't do anything. I mean,
The chemo just knocked me out. It was
the right
just,
thing. Yeah.
I'm too little guy for that amount of stuff.
No, but we base the chemo on your height and weight. But some people tolerate things differently than other people, right? Like, doesn't mean that you can't tolerate chemo in the future. It's just how it has to be something different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, thank you so much. Okay.
I know you're nervous and anxious and very worried for your